Let's get started. Um, I'm going to um, talk about go bags today, and a lot of it is going to be on the PowerPoint that I created. So let me start on that and share. And I think if you go to one of your views, you can see both what's on my share and whoever's talking here. So this is the third in a series. And it's a repeat, kind of what we did in 2018 about go bags. So we had Dominic Reynolds talking about how to prepare your property, hardening your house, and the things that FireSafe Marin is doing. And on August 1st, unfortunately, during another Fairfax outage, we had Shannon Mardui talking about escaping from paradise. So this is about go bags. And the first question always is, what's a go bag? A go bag is also known as a bug out bag, an emergency bag. When Shelley was in the Air Force, it was a bag that you could use to leave in 3 hours for a deployment anywhere. So that's the emergency. We talk about a go bag, but it could be a box or it could be anything. It's used to get away from your house and your neighborhood in an emergency within 5 minutes. It is the last ditch. So it's different from an earthquake where, for instance, I might have my tent out in the backyard. This is grab and go. What I learned in 2018 is that each of us have different reasons for what we pack in our go bag. So this morning we're going to hear from 4 of us about our go bags and note how they're different and why. We may have a different evacuation route. We may have different places to go. So each one of us is going to have something different. What's basic to all go bags is they have some emergency equipment, and don't forget your chargers. They have important papers and important things that you need, birth certificates, passports, that sort of thing. They have clothes, especially clothes that you can escape in, but also clothes you might want to live in for a while, and lists, and we'll talk about lists. There are 3 lists, really. One is, what are you going to put in your go bag? That's the immediate one that we're going to be talking about. The second is, what else do you do if you have 30 to 60 minutes? You may get other things, you may get other mementos, but think about it ahead of time. I heard a very funny, pathetic, awful story about a woman who had a wall full of children's pictures, and she had an extra couple minutes. She grabbed a lamp. She had no idea why, but in the emergency time, that's all she could think of. So have your list. And then your 3 to 5 hour list. You've got more time. What do? You turn off the gas to your house. Maybe you get gas in your car. You should always have some anyway. Pack more. But your list should tell you what you're going to do in that extra time. And we should all know ahead of time how we're going to evacuate and what we're going to do. That was another lesson, but evacuation plans are critical. Again, the more we prepare, the better we'll feel about how we can cope. So I'm going to start with Barbara Schindlis, who's sitting beside me.
I have quite a few people who live with me. They might not all be there when the fire hits, but the first thing I did with them is give them the name of a relative and a phone number that's out of the area where we all will check in with that person and let them know where we are and that we're safe. That person, the relative from up in Oregon, will be able to let the others know who they've heard from and what their situation is. So first thing I would do is get the kids out to the car and the dog. Get the dog out because my dog, I'm afraid he'll be nervous. He howls anyway when there's fire engines. So get him in the car, get all his things in the car, get my kids in the car. So I keep the dog food and the bowl and the leash and the dog bags all right by the front door so it'll be easy to grab and grab him and get out the door. I may not be able to get his crate because if I have a lot of people with me, I won't have room for that. But hopefully one of my other kids will have room in their car. Then the things that I pack for my go bag include things like sleeping medicine because I figure wherever I go, I'm going to be really nervous about my house burning down. And so I want to include not only my medication that took several months to get enough for extras to have for my go bag, but I want sleeping medicine and I want earplugs so that if I'm sleeping in a place that's unfamiliar or with a lot of other people, I'll be able to at least get some rest. I plan my things to leave around comfort things. That was not the way I used to do it. I used to put things in there that I didn't want and thought I wouldn't be needing. But now I want my favorite jeans. I want comfortable clothes. I want wool or cotton that will not burn on my way out of the house. I want leather gloves. I want a good mask that'll protect me. And I also have a bandana there to put over the mask. As well as taking my go bag, I also have a fire resistant box that I keep in the closet right next to my bed, and the bag underneath it that contains my trust, my will. In my box, I keep things like Erica suggested, birth certificates, passports, vaccination cards, copies of all our vaccination cards, pink slips to the cars. Um, uh, I think that's all we've got. Passports, but important things that I don't want to leave. So my bag is packed right next to my bed, and my box is right in the closet on the other side of my bed. Those are the things I'm going to grab quickly. In the car, I keep a first aid kit, an emergency kit for the road for the car, and also water. I've learned not to keep my go bag in the car because things melted. I had things like deodorant in there and shampoo and toothpaste, and everything gets hot in there. And I figure where I'm going, which is my sister's house in San Jose, she probably has all those things. So I don't need to even pack those. I'll take my own toothbrush, but I don't think I need any of those other things.
So I think we've got one view on what Barbara has in her go bag and why. But we also have Chris, who joins us, unfortunately not from Fairfax.
Because the power's out. 2 Sundays ago, the power was out there, and I didn't know if we had church or not, because my daughter was house sitting in San Anselmo and came over on that Sunday morning to tell us her power was out. So I didn't know what was going on. And that's one of the things I hate about these kinds of emergencies is the confusion. But anyway, we're not here to talk about me, although that's so hard for me. Sorry. My go bag, there it is. It's a backpack, and it's a rolling backpack, so I could carry it or roll it if I have to. But anyway, let's go. There's all the things that are in it, and at the end of our time together, there'll be lists, and basically this is the contents of the list that you can kind of see there in the background amongst the papers. That's the list that I used as my guide for my go bag. And I just live with my son, and he's got his own go bag, which he won't let me look inside. And so I don't know, I would take him with me if I had to evacuate, and we'd take his bag. But hopefully the contents of my bag will be enough for the two of us. Anyway, it's, as you can see, got first aid kits and all the things you'd expect, maybe some extra lighting, the medicine, money, chargers. I also got through LL Bean a crank radio. Yeah, there it is. And that way, if you need to, you can, if the power's out, you can somehow get, reception and emergency stuff. And then you can see those that signage there, that was given us in Fairfax through I think the police department And it's basically to indicate to firemen if we've evacuated that we're okay and evacuated so that they won't go inside to check and see if we're there, which wastes a lot of time on the as they're going from house to house checking on people. So that should be displayed in a prominent place. So I think that's about everything. I guess I should let you know that. Well, that's
That was
there's
in
the
your-
list. These are the lists.
That was a picture of what's in her car.
Yeah. Oh, it was?
No.
Well, it's a big plastic box, but anyway, that's got more. It's got what's on the list here that says car mini survival kit. So these lists are from the booklet that I think you have, the same one. I think it's from FireSafe Marin. And so I do keep a bunch of emergency supplies in the car all the time, which I hope isn't melting. And also, I keep a suitcase packed with clothes that I would try to grab if I had a few extra minutes and had to evacuate. Beyond that, I have tried putting photo albums, which weigh a ton, into this rolling suitcase that I have, but I have a bad feeling that they are not going to make it into the car, much as I would love to bring them to. I'm laughing now, but this is not funny to me, especially since I had to leave my house today and didn't know what the heck was going on.
Well, I was really impressed when we did this in 2018 about what Chris had in her bag because it was so different from mine. But she lives way down in a canyon in a forest, and she had big headlamps, searchlights. She had things that I would never dream of. But then I live right next to the church. I'm not going to have to go through a forest to get out of here. So what do I want to accomplish with my go bag? I want to get set up at wherever we go for our evacuation point, which is my sister's house. Since she came to live with us for a week during the Tubbs fire, we get to go live with her. It'll help me for maybe 24 to 48 hours. After that, I can get to Target or whatever I need to do. I want to have the ability to get into my computer and later to file insurance claims. I keep hearing about these people who somebody says, well, okay, so what did you have in your closet? And they say, well, I got sheets. I have a picture of my closet so that I can say, well, I've got 10 pairs of sheets and 5 blankets in. You get the idea. I looked in the bag as we were preparing this, and it was the one I packed in 2018. I now need to update it with a lot of new things, including a corkscrew and leather gloves. So here's where it is. It's behind the chair. That's right at my front door. So I keep it there so I can grab it on the way out. I live with my husband. I figure he's a big boy and he can pack his own bag. He has. What's in it? Again, clothes. I love a sarong. You can do all kinds of things with a sarong. My sister, as I said, came to live with us. She said, make sure that you've got clothes you really want to wear, not those clothes you were about to put into the Goodwill, because you're going to wear them for 5 days or so, and they're going to feel really bad. So put in something you want to wear. My important papers are on a thumb drive. I took that binder that I had of all those important papers, the wills, the trusts, and I scanned them. I'm in the middle of scanning some of our photo albums. So they all go either onto the thumb drive or onto the cloud. Now, one of the important things is to remember my password to the cloud, or I'll never get in again. I've got a KQED Pledge Drive emergency kit, which has all kinds of goodies. It has flashlights, it has a poncho, foil blanket, and I have the first aid kit that lives in my car. So, Rebecca? Nope. Come on, Rebecca. Come on.
Hi, this is Rebecca Conant, and I am here to share some of our emergency preparations with you. Underneath each of our beds, we have a pair of shoes and a flashlight next to the bed. And under our bed, we have a backpack from KQED and also an emergency ladder because we're on the second floor. After an arson fire at the end of our street in June 2020, we realized we needed an evacuation checklist for 10 minutes, and we created that and put it on the back of our bedroom door. We have a FireSafe box with important documents, but the fire last year made us realize we needed a bag inside so that we could easily grab it and run. So now the documents are in a bag inside the fireproof box. We have earthquake boxes, which are plastic tubs filled with canned food, clothing, and other important survival supplies. These live outside our house and are covered in a tarp. Over the years, I realized I needed an inventory list because food would expire and the kids would outgrow clothing, and trying to keep up with that was much easier when I had a list of what was in each box so I could know what I would need to replace and when. We hope that some of these ideas might be helpful to you in thinking about what might work for your emergency preparations. Good luck, everybody, and stay safe.
So that's the end of our prepared presentation pretty much. I want everybody, well, who has raise your hand if you have a go bag. Oh, I see people without their hands up. Uh-oh. Okay, all of you go pack your bag now. It can be anything. It could be a paper bag, but it's the first iteration. You can improve it later, but put something in it. Make a copy of your will and put it in there, or something. Some pair of shoes, a pair of leather gloves. Put something in it and start to pack. Make your lists. Go on FireSafe Marin or anything. Make your 5-minute, 30-minute, and 2-hour lists. I recommend scanning everything. It's far easier than trying to grab that big album or the 10 big albums.
Or 20.
Or there's 20 big albums. And the important thing is we're all scared of fire season. It's coming. It's here. People have been burned out of their houses. We know it happens, but we feel more in control when we're prepared. So that's it.